Impressions now, if alginate impressions or PVS, are you completely alginate or PVS free?
The only impressions we take are on a phase 1 patient.
Okay.
If we're going to do a little clear retainer,
Okay.
just post phase 1, upper anterior.
Okay.
So we're technically
Almost completely.
almost.
How
And,
did your staff respond to that when you said this is what we're going to do? Were they
I thought-
reluctant? Were they resistant?
They were very positive because we'd already had 2 years of scanning with Invisalign, and our aligners.
So they were already used to the technology.
We have no our Invisalign our aligners always fit. They fit like a racing glove, not like
Right.
a mitten. Sometimes
Right.
you don't have lag.
Right.
In a busy practice like mine, where we're moving on, like we'll move Tuesday night, Thursday night. We're running 3 offices.
Right.
They always have to finish the lab before they leave. So they're always in the lab at the end of the day trying to get the clear retainers done.
Right.
So we've not only eliminated the end of the day lab work, we've eliminated a lab position.
Right.
So in the bigger picture, and they haven't complained, we went from 6 assistants to 5,
Okay.
and their lab work has been reduced, by about 85%.
Okay.
And now we have a little more time on the computer to submit.
Right.
It's been a real win.
So it's worked good.
It's
And the
unbelievable.
feedback you said from now you're, just to kind of let the audience know, one of the markets that you're in is one of the nicest areas in the Denver market. Would you agree that that's
Yes.
true? Per capita, the whole bit, it's a well-to-do area.
Yes.
And busy moms,
Yes.
they're looking for efficiency themselves because they're going to soccer practice and all these other things, gymnastics and this and that. And they've really been excited about what you've been providing to them in terms of convenience. Would you say that that's true?
The first thing that they say, and it comes out that, oh my gosh, my son didn't have, or daughter didn't have to have an impression. They have a.
Isn't that funny that makes that big of a deal?
Yeah, they have a gag reflex problem, and they go, boy, this is so great. They've been dreading coming in. Then when they find out that we're going to scan initially, so the patient comes in for an exam, we can do an instant scan, and then we can put some brackets on, and they've had a great experience.
Right.
They haven't come in and had separators put in, bands fit, a mold. They've skipped all that. So
They love that.
Their first experience is a scan and some anterior brackets maybe put on.
And they love that.
And they're awesome. They
Yeah.
get to pick out colors. It was a great first experience.
So they love that.
So we're able to increase our instant starts maybe tenfold because we have a scanner and we don't have to wait for separation.
It's awesome. And so, last couple of points. Obviously, this technology is still very new. A lot of practices all around the country who are watching this video have been thinking about either getting a scanner or in the process of just purchasing one. They've acquired one. And I know one of the things they're asking themselves, because they tell me this, I'm definitely going to use it for my Invisalign.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to do that. But to gain the most benefit or value out of that piece of equipment, would you say that going digital with your appliances has been a benefit?
Absolutely. If you use it for Invisalign,
Definitely has made sense.
that quality of your practice increases. But it doesn't increase your Invisalign referrals. If you take it to your whole practice and do all your appliances, then it's a wow, it's a big practice builder, it's a buzz.
You're hearing that.
Adults doing Invisalign expect high-end technology. But when it's a second child or all their friends have been through molds, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
So 100% digital practice, in my opinion, is the only way to go.
And we're not, and I want to make this point just so nobody thinks that we're, out there to eliminate positions, but all of us are business owners,
Yes.
and we all have to think like business owners.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can actually reduce staffing, because we've
Mm-hmm.
brought in a piece of technology that's allowed me to do what I've always done, but not have to have the same number of people to do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the whole benefit of automation. It's been that way since Henry Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so when we look at that as business owners, and you said you've had one less lab person,
Yes.
and been able to not take that person out, plus gain some of the benefit of reduced appointments.
Mm-hmm.
On the surface, when you add all that stuff up, it seems like it makes sense.
It's great.
Yeah.
We had talked that possibly it's about $85 per patient visit.
Right, that you're saving.
And if you factor in that you're probably eliminating 3 appointments
Right.
per patient in a full treatment, and then you compare that to a scanning, receiving fee,
Right.
model printing,
Right.
it doesn't compare. You get the same turnaround time or
Right.
faster.
Right.
You get a more accurate appliance.
Right.
And
They're definitely, Doc, on Essex and Hawley's, they're definitely more accurate. I've seen it, they're 100%. When you get into band fitting, and this is one of the
Yes.
comments I think it's important for the audience to understand, and we've already touched it, but I want to touch on it one more time. There's three real approaches a practice can take with band fitting with a digital
Yes.
scanner. One thing they can do is say, I don't want to eliminate my appointments because the band fitting's too important to me, so I'm going to put my separators in, I'm going to send my patient home, I'm going to have them come back once I create space, I'm going to fit bands, I'm going to tell my laboratory, who I'm sending my scans to, I'm going to upload the file for the appliance, and then they're either going to keep my bands in stock in their laboratory, and I'm going to tell them what band size it is.
Yes.
That's an option. We have practices that are doing that because
Okay.
they're very particular on their band fit.
Sure.
I think they lose some of the benefit that we've talked about in terms of eliminating appointments, but that's an option. A second option that they do is what you're doing, which is they say, I'm willing to eliminate those appointments and sacrifice a little bit of possible adjustments in the bands that I might have to do chair side. You know, maybe I have to contour a little bit more. Maybe they're a little looser than I'd like, so I'm gonna put a little more Fuji in them or whatever it might be. So I'm willing to do that in order to eliminate those appointments, especially since I'm taking the whole appliance out. The third thing that they can do, and we've had practices do this, is we send them blank bands, and I know blank bands isn't perfect because, you know, with attachments, whatever, but and they can fit the band that we're going to use in our office. We'll give them our own blank bands. They can fit those themselves, tell us what band size it is. I'm of the opinion that as long as the office understands the pros and cons of having us fit them without having a separator, if they're willing to go through a few cases to get them right, to find out what the right fit is, if they can get comfortable with that, I think the efficiency they gain by limiting those appointments is worth a few appliances here and there that they have to tweak. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. If you're going to go to the trouble of separating, fitting bands, and scanning, have you really made this a wow? As long as there's been advances in adhesives,
Right.
a little bit larger is better than a little bit smaller. You're not doing detailing movements.
Because if it's a little bit bigger, you can still get it on.
You're not doing torque and tip.
Yeah,
You're
that's
doing,
right.
You're doing bodily expansion.
That's
hopefully,
it.
Or distalization.
Right.
And if you're comfortable throwing the appliance away with those bands, and then either
And here's my argument, for $4 a patient, I mean, if you're buying your bands for $2 a piece or $3 a piece, I'll take the whole appliance out and stick another band in there for the $85 a chair side time that I eliminate. I'll pay $5 or $6.
So we have a new patient in the office. They're scheduled for an hour.
Right.
And I'm trying to do, a 5-chair open bay, plus 2 exams columns, plus we have a records chair. We were unable to do instant starts. It was a real hardship. And our instant starts then were usually separators, or separators, and maybe we do some anterior bracketing. Patients want to start. They're there. For them to come back is a big deal.
Hassle.
It is. So, but in a normal, we do an hour exam slot. We now have time with my staff. Everybody learns how to scan. We can do an appliance scan in about 8 minutes, and it's
awesome.
It is, and the patient doesn't have to go through. So their experience is very positive.
Right.
They've been with a treatment coordinator. They've been with.
Do you promote the scanning in your treatment coordinating environment when your treatment coordinator's sitting down with the patient? You guys talk about it?
Absolutely. We have the scanner sitting. They see the scanner on their tour.
Okay.
So they know about it. We talk about it, and when they know that they don't have to have impressions, because everybody remembers that.
Sure.
All the moms
remember
that, the dads, and
Right.
usually a sibling.
Right.
So if you can get through that it's okay to let someone else fit your bands, then it really makes sense.
Well, Doc, I really appreciate your time, and thanks for letting me come in. And again, thank you for taking a few minutes to tell us how digital's working in your office.
Well, thank you.